You're listening to Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone.
There has been and is an existing presence, an ET presence. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to change reality.
I believe, as do the other folks that were on the flight, that when we visually saw it, that it was something not from this world.
Goof On Radio.
Or you were either out, brother.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Goof On Radio.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
You're listening to Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano. All right. Welcome to Goof On, everybody. I'm your host, Rich Giordano. It is Monday. How to make sure? October 10th? It's 10-10-22. How the hell are you? Well, here we are. Starting off another week of ufology or ufology, but I hope you had a nice weekend. It is Monday. Sorry, it's a holiday though, from what I heard, right? Is it a holiday today? Something like, I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. Is it Christopher Columbus Day? There was a day today. It was something. I don't know. There was a lot of traffic today. Didn't seem like there was a holiday. It's Columbus Day. Thanksgiving where you are, David? Okay. Christmas where you are, Nathan? Fine. New Year's? Okay. Got it. It's Columbus Day. I can't believe it. Wow, I thought Columbus Day was... it is October. Yeah, it's just weird here in Florida. Not much different than Arizona, though. It's still nice out. It's 87 degrees today. It was. It didn't feel like it though. Sun was out. Partly cloudy. We've got some rain coming the next few days. We haven't had rain since 5 days before the hurricane, and we were getting rain like all the time here in Florida. But that's what happens. The weather system changes through the hurricane, and then it takes time for it to get back to its normal shebang, I guess. I don't know. Independence Day where you are, Cindy? Okay. Indigenous Peoples Day. Excuse me. I thought I said Independence Day. I just glanced. Yeah. You know, Jim Semivan. Now, I know he said this in the past. We all know he said it. But why is everybody bringing it up like it's brand new? I mean, he said this before. That the phenomenon can put thoughts into our heads and, right? It's just weird that, well, I put a short video out today and I talked about it a little bit last night, but I think there's something going on with this. And I actually think we need to get your point of view on this. So what is it? Tomorrow? We don't do that on Mondays. It is Monday, right? I thought it was Monday. Well, let's ask the public anyway to come in here and join me. Not now, but in a little bit. We'll do that. We'll bring some of the public in if you want. Now, let's do some, what's that? Roll call? Roll call, everybody. Roll call, everybody. MEM, Texas. It's Genocide Day where you are. Oh, that's a beautiful dog. Wow. Real handsome. But is that a male? It looks like it's hard to tell. Beautiful. Nice coat. Welcome to the show, Emmy. Lisa M. Ah, hey. Come on now. Is that a face? Is that a picture? Thanks for being here. Welcome to the show. I don't mean to embarrass you. Rebecca Wild One. What do you say? Is that a face? Is that a picture? Everybody's got one tonight, right? Who else we got? Sky Allen. Is that a face? Is that a picture? Welcome to the show. By the way, Rebecca, show welcomes you. Sammo, welcome to the show. Goofoni and Rockstar. I didn't forget it. Welcome to the show. Scott Blight. You got a face too. Into Thin Air News. For real? You got a new channel or something? All right. It's an elite day for sure. 10-10-2-2. Dropping the zeros. Yeah. Drop the zeros and you got 11. Oh, and and then I'll show you guys something. Welcome to the show. Diane Boz, just another day. Welcome to the show. Revere Pony Express. Thank you for all your hard work over the years. Welcome to the show. Pony Express, come on. David Wilcox is here. What's up, Mr. Wilcox? Welcome to the show. Good to see you. Helmut Kaz. I said so. Welcome to the show. Did I say Cindy Hughes? Welcome to the show. If I didn't, I'll say it again. Cindy Hughes, welcome to the show. See, now that's a face. That's a picture. Joker 37. Now there's some faces. Those are some pictures. All right. Sputnik 57. Best for last. Capiche? Welcome to the show, Sputnik 57. Tim Freestone's here. Oh, I got your little dog there, huh? I can't tell what kind of cowboy hat. Is that a Johnson? Is that a Slim's? Looks like it. Looks nice. I always wanted to wear a cowboy hat. But when I put it on, welcome to the show, Brian. Good to see you. Rustic Incorporated, welcome to the show. Good to see you. All right, let's get started. Hey, Brooke did I say it before? If not, all right. Ice cream shots, what's up? That's a face right there with sunglasses even. Nice. Paula Fowl Roust, welcome to the show. Big Pluck. And that's a face. That's a picture. I can see right through that guy. Yeah, Mr. DB Cooper 7. Oh, Jiminy Glick. He's looking right at me. All right, let's get started. Welcome to the show, everybody. D's House Genetics, Mr. DB Cooper. If I didn't say it, I said it. Ozzy Tiger, what's up? Welcome to the room. And John Hunsley, welcome to the show. Who's at the front door trying to get into the show? We locked them out. All right, let's get started. So today is Monday, October 10th, 2022. Take away the zeros. You have 1122. What does it mean? Look it up in the numerology charts. But you can't be cutting out zeros, man. You can't be doing it, can you? Then you could say it can happen on anything. You know? Oh, my credit card's got 2 ones and a 9 in there, and they're not together. If you take all of those out, I'm left with 113,399. All I needed was the 5 and the 7. Can't do that. That's cheating. But I like your style. That's how you play the numerology game. You just do what the hoaxer debunkers do. You just make it whatever you want it to be, and boop, that's the answer. No matter what the value, the truth is, you can make it anything you want. I'm going to identify, oh, that's a different subject, isn't it, altogether? What's that? Yes, you can support the show. Super Chat, Super Sticker, PayPal, Cash App. All the links are in the show description and on the About button on the Goof On homepage. You can help however you want. I don't give a shit. It's over anyway. All right. Let's just get it over with and talk about this. Let's just get it over with. I'm pulling it up. Jim Semivan, he said it. Everybody knows it. Why, though? If the phenomenon can put thoughts in our heads, as Nolan, Semivan, and others have postulated, as Red Rum Joe here says on Twitter, what's to say that it hasn't done that with Putin? That's a good question. Is that really so controversial to say at this point? No, because everybody can do it, right? Everybody can talk to the aliens. Yes, they can. Look, 15 years ago when Greer got real strong into the CE5, I remember I was kind of new still, and then he was talking about the CE5 and how he told the aliens of the Phoenix Lights where to fly their magical craft. And, well, Greer was there that night. And he had conversation with the lights when they got within the vicinity of the Phoenix area. And he said, no, go left and then dim out. Something like that. I don't know. I'm paraphrasing what he probably said that I never heard. But he did say he told the Phoenix Lights where to go. Everybody laughed, including me. We all chuckled a little bit, didn't we? Greer, that's just Greer being CE5 funny. That's CE5 funny right there, what Greer just said. Isn't that funny, Mike? Good shit, right? Greer used to be a good guy, used to be one of us. Yeah, we used to say that about Greer, right? He's going to champion in disclosure. I was convinced. And I wasn't even in the field back then. But lo and behold, 9/11 happened and took away that dream, almost as if it was planned that way. And if you look at the events that led all the way up to Greer getting that theater wherever he did that at that day to hold that NPR thing, it was almost as if they knew if 9/11 happened, everybody would forget about Greer. So let's just do it 2 days or so before 9/11. Everybody forget about it. And that's what we did. We forgot about Greer and the 400 people and the 40 people he brought on stage, bringing us disclosure as best they can. Yes, we have these things on radar. Yes, I saw a laser shoot out of this thing. It took a rocket down. Yes, the men in black visited me. It was amazing. I was scared for my life. Of course, I gave him the tape. All that stuff was being brought out. And then 9/11 happened. And Greer had to somehow come back from that, and he brought with him CE5. And everybody laughed. And everybody was laughing. Not everybody, but for the most part. What is he saying? He talked to the freaking aliens? Greer said this. Oh, yeah, it's right now. You can watch it on his channel. What is he? He just killed his career, we said. He's done. He's over with. Why is he saying that? And some people were like, hey, Greer's always said it. It's just now he's putting all chips are in. And we all laughed. And all these people now who are talking, Lou Elizondo, Jim Semivan, Jeremy Corbell, all of them, including others we don't see that much, even the dead people. We haven't seen them that much. People play them as if it was new, But now, not so funny anymore, is it? Jim Semivan puts out that they can change your environment, right? Oh, here it is. This is a force that, you can see right behind me, that can change our environment in your head and can put thoughts into your head. That's the thumbnail. That is literally crazy talk. And yet here he is. Look at him. Look at this guy. He's happy as a pig in shit. Nobody's laughing. Everybody's going, wait, what? Wait, what? And nobody's giving any credibility to Grant Cameron. Because a lot of people who are into this, who believe that you can talk, and I'm not sure you can. There might be something to this. And I can't dismiss my own experiences now, so I'm not saying I ever heard a voice, but many of us have said we get feelings to do something, to go outside, to look up perhaps. I don't know. But I've always, like I said in my show the other day, I don't know if I was addicted to going outside because I think that's what it is. This is an addiction. Or was I being forced out there with emotional intent, a being telling me what to do. And I just don't feel that. I just think I was addicted to going out. But all right, for the SNGs of this topic, I'll go with it and say, well, maybe that's true. Maybe they did have me go outside and say, and I get it. What's the purpose of that if I can't get it out to the masses and have them believe or see something that looks better than a dot in the sky? Come on. Come on. You want me to show dots to the public? This has been going on for decades. We're beyond dots here, aliens. If you're going to have me do this every night and every day, I expect a little more than a few dots. And so they came. More dots. I don't know. It just seems like an awful waste of time. But if we could talk to them with our minds, that means we're puppets. We don't have free will. Huh? We don't have free will. Huh? We have the illusion of free will. There you go. Well, that's not actual free will then. How do you know? So, by Jim Semivan saying that, and then they asked another question. Can you teach my 12-year-old daughter, somebody said, about aliens? Because she's curious. She's at that age. She's starting to ask questions. We talked about this a few months back, 6 months ago or so. Like, would you teach your kids about aliens? And he's like, no effing way. Are you kidding me? This is the mindset. This is where they live. All right. This is the Lou Elizondo threat. This is the threat that they've been talking about. Demons. Says it right here. Aliens are jinn. He thinks that. He thinks they're demons. Jinn. Whatever. And he's like, I am not going to talk to your daughter about aliens. Are you kidding me? Do you know what they do? They steal babies. You understand? that you didn't know you had in your body. Some people know, some women, well, some that identify as, oh, no, I was kidding. But I'm not going to tell your daughter that the demons are aliens. There ain't no way I'm going to tell a 12-year-old that. I remember being 12, 13 years old. You could have told me. I wouldn't have freaked out. What kind of world are we living in anyway, where these aliens are... I don't see any evidence of that. How and why Jim Semivan would make himself well known for saying this is beyond me. I don't understand the logic. But he's damn serious about it. And this is why they don't talk to Greer, even though they need to give him credit for everything that they're saying they're doing. They need to give Greer credit right now. It's bullshit. I started typing that today on Twitter in a few places. You need to give Greer credit. He was the one. And Grant Cameron, as I was about to say and rudely interrupted myself, Grant Cameron brought in the music aspect of all this. Several years ago, when I first started doing Goof On, he was talking about we need to look to the music. And I still hear that from him. It's in the music, he said. And I know I'd like to get Nicole Sackich on one day because she works with Grant Cameron, because I don't think Grant's going to come on here. But maybe he will. I don't know. But I'd like to talk to him about the music. He doesn't have to come on and do a whole show, but I'd like to get something from him about that music. Maybe I can ask Nicole or find it myself where he said that, because the way he explained it was kind of cool. And I brushed it off like, come on. Music now? But I know, I really think it has something to do maybe with crop circles. I think that's what he was talking about too. Crop circles, some sort, they communicate maybe. It's not rock and roll or things like that. I know the Doors guy's father was in CIA. I know Jim Morrison was his name. His dad was in the CIA. The Rolling Stones and Rush. Rush was MK Ultra, all based on MK. It was. Isn't it? Wasn't it? Wasn't there that MK Ultra girl said that she was attacked by Rush with their music? A mundane warrior, a mean. What? Today's Tom Sawyer. Look for a guy named Tom Sawyer. It's the end of the days. It's the end of the days? It's end of days shit. Well, that's it. Let's keep your kids away from Jim Semivan. That's all I can say on that. But I think this is pretty tricky, what they're talking about. This opens up a whole can of worms. Because, I don't know, let me find it here. More clear videos of you. Yeah. Let's see. I got a bunch of stuff here. Hold on. Water under earth. No. Where is it? I got it all ready for tonight. Yeah, maybe I didn't. All right. Maybe I didn't. No, I didn't. I didn't get your palates wet. Oh, come on. Did you guys see, you probably didn't, Kanye West on Tucker Carlson's show? God, man, that guy was talking some serious stuff about, I don't even know, secret government shit. It was pretty bad. I can't play it on the show, but I would love to. Also later tonight, if the person gets back to me, sent me some wicked looking moon anomalies, not like what's his name? God, I can't think. The guy who has the, he goes around and I play his stuff all the time. Chris, yeah, I know, the Mars and Moon guy, but the other guy. Anyway, it's not like that. This guy recorded it in his backyard. He didn't get it from Google Maps or anything like that. He shot it with his own camera. And he got some really interesting stuff on there that just looks like a freaking base is on the moon. Let me see if he got back to me. No, not yet. But I want to play that. Unless he told me I could in the email. Let me see real quick. Here it is. All right. I'm not. I don't know what's going to. I see kinds of type stuff. If this type of stuff, yeah, he made a channel, but he didn't tell me I can play it on the show yet. Anyway, he just told me to. Oh, nope. He said, check out the last video I uploaded. I thought he said you can upload it. Let's go to, there isn't really much to say about Jim Semivan. People are talking about the guy. Like, what is he talking about? There are people, like, according to, let's see. The phenomenon, this is somebody here, it's called They're Here on Twitter, Tom DeLonge implied that the phenomenon manipulates us in order to distract and divide, and now, during what it seems a coordinated effort, pointed towards disclosure. We have a major conflict knocking at our doors, not so much controversial as lacking in any indication of proof, rational purposes. What Putin is doing is the result of much more terrestrial behavior and is anything but new on his part. That said, anything remains possible. Yeah, and Joe's like, Red Rum Joe saying, all it would take was a little nudge to push him further in a direction he was already going. That's not, no, you can't do that. No nudge. That suggests there are, this is by Clear Channel, that there are two or more opposing ET races at play here. One or more with good intentions and one or more with bad. The good ETs haven't stopped Putin, suggesting that if they do, they may be at war with those supporting him. Politics in outer space? Do you hear this? Now we've got a couple of them. Now we got a couple of aliens fighting it out. Couple of aliens. One good, one bad. This is in every single story that's ever been in mankind. You always have the hero, right? The catalyst. And then you have the crescendo of the movie or story, and that would be disclosure. But that's not anywhere in the future. The only way that, we've said this before, and I think now, after all this time, I can actually say proudly, because a lot of people told me 18 years ago, we're going to have disclosure within 3 years. Then it was like, I think it's going to be, it's going to be another 3 or 4 years probably. Things just got a little bit sidetracked for now. I see. So then it was another 5 years, and then I took a break for a year, and then I came back, and Tom DeLonge and TTSA was born, and I said, I can't. I have to come back for that. Came back, and it's been the threat, it's been the Lou, and it's been really strange. It has. It's been very, very strange. We all know. You have to know this, unless you've been under a rock the last decade. But you know how corrupt the government is. You can't put anything. You can't put anything in what they say and say, yeah, It's the opposite. We did that last night. Everything the government says is the opposite. We're going to have transparency in that UFO office, that new UFO office at the Pentagon inside the DOD, and we have no transparency. TTSA is going to build this craft, trans-medium craft. We're going to go through space, sea, and sand. That didn't work out either. What do you got next, Lou? Anything else you got for us? How about my TV show one night? No. That failed too. How about AATIP? No. AATIP's no more. Can't do that. Sorry, Lou. You failed. But I am at Lou's like, but I'm at the Galileo Project, which will never get off its feet. But I'm also in Space Force, which is going to come crashing to the ground. Everything he's doing is going to be done in 2 years anyway. It doesn't matter. Whatever promises they're making are going to be gone. It doesn't matter. That's why Lou's going to get that book out by early 2023. And with that book, oh boy. With that book, Lou can retire. Lou won't go out that quick, but he'll have another year left on his contract. And then after that, he's going to run for governor. And then we're going to hear Lou saying, I knew this was going to happen. I red pilled myself. Yeah, that's it. Or is it the blue pill? Is it the blue pill? You are all living in a matrix. Anytime Lou puts his lips together, he's lying. Remember that. I'm not kidding when I say that. But a lot of people here are really taking this shit. And they're like running away. Of course, any other leader. Wait, what? The caveat is that if first world nations have extensive black ops programs, even ET contact, they might have tech to detect and shield against psychic influencing. Remote influencers and psychic assassins of enemy nations are threats too. Dun, dun, dun. I'm going to remote view you to death. I'm going to get him. Keep doing it, Lou. Richie's losing his mind. Keep doing it, Lou. Richie's forgetful. Lou. Lou's going to bust open. He's going to pop a blood vessel trying to do his remote viewing. Future remote viewing. I knew I was going to be governor. Someday. Because it's without a doubt real. As he looks at nobody in the audience. Remember that day? Welcome, Lou Elizondo. One person clapping. Welcome, everybody. And nobody's there. God, that was beautiful. You can hear the echoing of his footsteps as he walks up the stage. Chikoomp, chikoomp, chikoomp. Hello. My name is Lou Elizondo. I came here today from a place called AATIP. It was a great place. Everywhere we went. People didn't know our name. We saw UFOs and all other things. It's real. And you hear the echo you can hear it. I'm telling you, the guy gave a great speech that day and nobody cares. Nobody cares. Oh, this is weird. Poor Lou. Everybody picks on him. All he wants to do is just get by with his lies. That's all. Nothing major. Hey, who's this guy? Who's this person? Who's this lady? Marie Jose Sproul sent $2.12. Oh, that's a good number. $2.12 through PayPal. Marie Jose Sproul. Thank you very much. I saw it. And you know what? That's the first one of the night, right? Isn't it? Is that not? It is. Thank you, Marie Jose Sproul, with the $2.12 PayPal. That good. All over Semivan and his imagination. Thank you very, very much. Mucho gusto, generoso. And a continuing supporter of Goofon. Giddy up. Yahoo! All right, what do we got next? We got, oh my God. So, oh yeah, we were talking about this still. Well, we're done with this, right? We don't have to keep talking, but I am going to bring some of you in later to talk about that in a little bit. If you want to talk about Semivan, if not. If they can put thoughts in our head, the realization that they can do that means we have some level of autonomy. If they didn't want us to know that, they either wouldn't let us know or they wouldn't do it. That's true. Thank you, Thuro, Whelan, Josh. It's amazing. Wow. Perhaps what you are saying relates also to why many abductions occur in bed in a hypnagogic state. Is that right? Hypnagogic? Where theta imagery dominates. We are easily hacked and manipulated here. Theta is our inner eye. What you are saying theoretically should be totally possible, even for humans. What the? What's new, this person says. The Bible's been saying this all the while, even when you did not believe it. Welcome to the real world. Putting UFOs aside for a sec, frankly, no, I'm not going to read that. Putin's invasion. You know, if Putin had access to alien thoughts and manipulations, then everything that's going on around us, everything, me, you, the president, Trump, we just don't have free will. We have the illusion of free will. But what if it is the Matrix? Because this is what it's sounding like to me. We're living in a Matrix world where they can break into our minds and read our thoughts. But it's not a Matrix, it's reality. So now you have to think, wait a minute, some alien can read my thoughts. Hold on. Maybe that's why the law of attraction works. Hold on. Digging deeper. What if it's true? And we're all part of a program. I'm supposed to do this for whatever reason. It's just a small part of the world, right? You got somebody who's doing laundry somewhere, somebody who's cooking, somebody who's in their office signing a deal with somebody about buying a car, a home, going on vacation, talking to a travel agent. There's all sorts of people doing all millions of things and operations happening. There's sporting events. There's people driving. If this is all part of a big matrix and a part of I can't even tell you if it's a quantum computer or what, but whatever it is, we don't understand it. So all we can do is speculate. And I'm speculating. What makes the most sense is usually the truth. Occam's razor, right? So we have to think critically. A lot of people lost their critical thinking ways, it seems, over the last 20 years. I haven't seen people dummy down this much ever. Ever. And I noticed it. When you get to 30, 35 years old, you realize these people in power are not that smart. And then you get into your 40s and now like 50s, and you're worrying about the rest of your life, how you're going to survive when you retire. And you see these people in power saying stupid things and doing stupid things. Both sides, all of them are corrupt. All of them are are dirty one way or the other. It's just the way it is, and it doesn't have to be that way, but unfortunately it got that way. And now we're seeing the results of lie upon lie upon lie upon lie. We don't know where the truth begins or ends. We can't know. They did it on purpose, especially in ufology. All these different names over the last several months for this new office. Who cares? Just tell us when you're ready. We'll go with whatever you come up with. No need to keep changing it. You know, that's a bullshit thing. Putting stuff in writing and then retracting it. Oh, we didn't mean that. Of course you meant it. Of course you meant it. You're going to tell me the New York Times off-world vehicles was an accident? That was planted, retracted, and denied. Well, they, denied that there were any UFOs off-world, or that we had any in our possession underground, in a bunker, in a dome. Yeah, everything has been falsified, but yet we can talk to them with our minds. Jim Semivan said it, so it's true. And if he's saying it, why would he lie? Look at him. He looks like just a regular guy. And that's what scares me. Why is he saying this? Why is Lou Elizondo going around remote viewing people? Just to see how they act? The way... Hey, why come out with that story, Jeremy McGowan? And it seems like he's backpedaling on a few things too, which really freaking bothers me. It's like now a guy came out, said all this dirt about Lou and Cahill. What's come of it? It got downplayed when it should have been upplayed. It should have been a huge, and it was big, but it should have been. Yeah, they're too big. Lou's too big. They've got too many followers for anybody to leave them. That's the thing. When they're too big to fail? You ever hear that? Like Google. Too big to fail. Right? I got this shit now. See, this is the problem with having a mustache or a beard. I always feel like I got food drying up in me, on me. I'm going to throw in a video right now. Let's take a look at a video of a UFO. Maybe? Let's see what this is. I don't know what this is. Did we already play this? I don't remember this. Hold on. This can't be real. Hold on a second. Here it comes. I wasn't going to play this, but 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And this one is from JTRC.
Seem to be shaped like that, so maybe this is
That
something
looks
that they
fake.
actually were successfully able to reverse engineer, and they're
Yeah, I can't play it too much because.
And you can see, of course, it's going to be saucer shaped, which I'll show you guys again.
Oh, this is an RC. I see what's going. I see. Remote control JTRC. Got it. This is probably a remote control drone. Well, obviously. No, it's auto, whatever. Oh, come on. Oh, I remember that.
Right, whatever it is, it just dropped straight out like it.
And that looked real, didn't it?
I saw this drop and I was filming this. I would go over there and see what it was it dropped out. Because obviously it may be some kind of disposal part or something. Or maybe
this looks real coming out, doesn't it? Yeah, we played this before. I'm going frame by frame. Want to watch that thing come out. It's like taking a dump. Come on. It looks like that's a real object that's really dumping something. Doesn't it? Oh my God, I've hit this button 50, 100 times already. Let's go, frame by frame. We're moving here. What happened?
Seeing this.
All right. Save me! It's even got little arms. Yeah, that's a good one right there. It's an interesting one. But I think that might be a real UFO right here. Dropping something out of it. Does anybody know what this is? Has this been debunked? No? No? All right. Okay. I'm not sure on that one. I'm not saying it's real. All right, I want to show you something that Nathan sent to me a while back. And I keep forgetting to show you guys this. It's really cool. It is something that may be the answer to a lot of the UFOs that people are seeing. And here it is. This here is a gray giant inflatable UFO balloon with red lights, PVC, airtight flying saucer for hanging advertising parade decoration. It's a $400 blimp. Tell me that this is not being recorded in some parts of the world. You understand? I can't click on these. There's some other versions over here. It won't let me click because this is just a screenshot. But yeah. Yeah, it's pretty big. How big? I don't know, what, 10 feet? I think it is. 20 feet? I don't know. It doesn't say on this page. I don't see how big. But in the picture, you know, it's hard to tell, but it looks big. It looks about 15 to 20 feet. Nice. Yep. Gray, giant, inflatable UFO balloon. I don't know. For $400, you should be able to fly it. It just says PVC airtight flying saucer for hanging advertising parade decoration. It doesn't say if it's a drone. For $400. My God. Well, anywhere from $383 to $925. One piece. Here's, I don't know what this means. 3 pieces plus. I don't know. Whatever. It's anyway. You could see here from $379 to $900. So $400 to $1,000. I don't know what they're selling. Maybe, I don't know. Why? I just, anytime I see something WAF 007, it doesn't matter where it comes from, but yeah, I know what you mean. Sometimes I get some obscure things that aren't so obscure. I am going to get rid of that. All right. Huh. Hold on a second. All right, here we go. Let's spin away. Hold on, I said. All right. You know how in the past we've talked about some people showing off their body parts, mainly some women in the field. Well, if women don't realize, and I know you do, that showing off your body will bring you tons and tons of views. It does help. Like this, like here's a person, young woman alone, surviving off grid. 200,000 subscribers. Gee, I wonder why. Yeah, I don't know. Let's go outside and have our butt cheeks showing while we're digging holes and putting up a tent. I tell you, man, if that was me, if I was in good shape, I'd be shirtless right now. But I'm not. I'm just getting there. Someday we'll do a shirtless show. We'll all be shirtless on here with Bob, me, anybody else, we're going to have a shirtless night. It's going to be a shirtless night. That's right. You know, with ufology being 86% male, any girl coming around showing a little bit of anything is going to get a much better view count. I promise. So, guys, we need to do that. What can we do? Oh, I already answered my own question. In my head, I can't say it out loud. But I'll give you a channel, and then you might figure it out. The fist. The fist. What am I talking about? If I wanted to use my body to get views, how would I do that in this field that's almost 90% male and get views successfully? There's only one way. You have to cater to and I just can't do that. I just can't do it. So we're sitting here with our clothes on. And that's that. Until further notice. There's no way we would get more views if you maybe you would one show, because people would be like, oh, let's see what kind of shape he's in or she's in. Well, no girl's going to come on the show and take their top off here, but we'll have to do a shirtless wonder show. Maybe my last show. I don't know. The reason I don't, it's just odd to have somebody on by themselves without their shirt. It's not something that happens. But if we all had our shirts off, there's a show. I don't know if I want to see that now. You know what? I changed my mind. There's not going to be a shirtless show. Right now, there's a pantsless one. Oh, sorry about that, Gigi. I don't know. All right, let's go over some of Scott Brown's, findings, his research that he has. Here we go. In the field, this is one of the most common mistakes in ufology. The ever-loving airplane shooting out contrails and or chemtrails at a very high, I don't want to say very high, at a high distance, high enough that when the sun is already set, the plane still gets hit with the sun way up in the sky. So you see these from a distance, and you think you're seeing, depending on the angle, like if you're behind it, like this one up here, and it's going away from you, you're not going to see the entire plane because it's getting flooded with sunlight. Then you got some like heading towards you. Wow, that's just beautiful. Giving you the illusion, the reason this one would disappear, because it's being the camera overcompensates for all of this behind it. And then you just lose the airplane in the mix. It just blends in. Same with this one from underneath. This one looks like a fireball. This one's kind of cool, probably a 4-engine airplane. A lot of common mistakes. Good job on that. Same with the Boyds. These are one of the difficult ones at night. No matter what, people will be in denial, just like Fat Tony when, catches these things saying, oh yeah, I got all these over here. I know you couldn't hear him, and I know Boyds when I hear him. Yeah, of course you do. All right, what do we got over here? Roswell. Oh, is this Paul Davids was not only the writer-producer for the Showtime film Roswell, he also played the Army base photographer. Okay, cool. Fake created with the phone app. Wow. Same UFO phone app used to create fakes. The phone apps are really popular. And you know what? To the untrained eye, This is magical. It's magic. Yep. All right. You know what I need? You know what we need right now? And I have to do this. This is just, I have no choice. It's been so long. And I'm just doing it. I don't care. Come on, everybody. Crop circle song. I need a little mojo coming here. Come on, everybody. What are they? What are they? Why are they? Everybody sing along.
What do they mean? What are they?
What are they?
Why are they?
Why are they? What do they mean? What do they mean? What are they, everybody?
Are they harbingers of world change?
Change?
Secrets in the fields. Are they harbingers of world change?
Change?
Secrets in the fields. Are they harbingers of world change? Secrets in the fields. Secrets in the fields.
Thank you. I needed that. It's been a month since we played that song. Yep. Been a month. Every show I always step on my shoelace and untie my shoe. Congratulations. There's another one untied. I needed that. It was at the top of the hour and I had to do it. You can help support the show. All the links are in the description. We are supported by you. For now. Are we? Are we supported? All the links are in the show description and on the About button on GoofOn. I've been holding on to this and I don't know why. Let me show it to you. I don't even know why. I don't even know why. No, I already did it. It says, machines not made here on Earth. That's the essence of the Congressional language. Consider if that's true. We are living in a world that must include advanced non-human intelligence, fabricating craft that challenge our understanding and ability to harness natural forces. What? Fabricating craft that challenge our understanding and ability to harness natural forces. That sounds like weather modification to me. Controlling the weather? Controlling the weather? I don't know. They can't control natural forces. That's it. All right. What's this? No, I'm not playing that. Not interested. What's new here? The final judgment. And, yep. Stop Russians. Wow. A lot of Russian talk on YouTube. I mean on Twitter. It's all I see is Russian, Russian, Russian. Knapp again selling OSAP as a UFO study. It has been revealed that most of the program was fabricated to get funding and had nothing to do with UFOs. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. That was Area 503 Manny responding to George Knapp saying this in a tweet. 1 year ago, our book, Skinwalkers at the Pentagon, was released. It is the story of OSAP, the largest UFO study ever funded by the U.S. government. This is the first and only, so far, on-camera interview with the men who ran it. James Lukatsky, Colm Kelleher, and Dr. George Brothers. George Knapp. I'm joking. Aussie Tiger. That's a $15 Aussie Super Dono. Thank you very much. That right there is a continuing supporter of Goof On. What's wrong with me? I've got Bidenisms coming out of my mouth. Thank you, Aussie Tiger. And thank you for your support. That's a super dono from a super duper supporter of the show. Mucho gusto, generoso Aussie Tiger. Thank you for the support. As always, everything you do for Goof On. What's up, Spaceman Australia? I don't know if that's correct, but I just saw you here. Son, what's up? GG. Hey, GG, how you doing, eh? GG Walker, Texas Ranger. That's who you are. GG Walker, Texas Ranger. From now on, you're a Texan. Sorry. Not sorry. Iron Bear 78, 44. There you are. I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking the same exact thing. That is crazy. How did you do that? You do that to me all the time, bro. Private conversations. Well, it's the way it is. I don't know. Is that you? Who is that? Oh, it's the other guy. Sorry, I was confused. Let me show you this real quick. Inside OSAP and AATIP. Oh, let's see what they talked about on the old mystery wire. Come on. Oh, wait, what the frick? What the? It didn't work. Oh, yes. Brother-in-law. Let me pull it up because it's on a different tab. It opened up in a different tab. Here we go. In 3, 2, Agush. Hey. Come on. Agush again. Hello, everybody. This is George Knapp.
Considerable speculation, fueled in part by statements from the DOD's spokesperson, that the $22 million that was secured by Senator...
I don't care. Who cares about the 22 million? We know. Oh, I know. He's got to start off. I'm sorry.
Senator Reid and his colleagues in Congress to fund this program and study had nothing to do with UFOs. It was really just a study of future technologies, presumably by our adversaries, that it was really just that. Can you address whether OSAP was first and foremost an investigation of UFO phenomena? Why isn't it made obvious in any of the documentation that's been made public so far?
It was completely UFO related. The reason you haven't seen the documentation is we used a statement of objectives format for the request for proposal. That is insufficient for anyone examining the contents of the contract. They must have the proposal. Now, within the proposal, and in this case, it was from Bigelow Aerospace Advanced Space Studies, it's clearly mentioned among the topics proposed, a worldwide database of advanced aerospace vehicles. There can be no ambiguity here. This was being proposed as a UFO project. Now, if you want to look at the tail end of the project, you'll find over 100 documents required to be reported to the Defense Intelligence Agency that were UFO related, in part, of course. I mean, they were large, very large documents.
Wait a second. Hold on. I'm going to rewind it.
And
because I'm not sure I heard correctly.
It was completely UFO related.
Hold on. Come on!
Contract and subcontracts.
Look at that. It keeps grabbing that piece of shit.
You know, one of the most disturbing aspects
here
of the investigation that you both...
you prick bastard, you son of a... Go there.
The reason you haven't seen the documentation is we used a statement of objectives format for the request for proposal. That is insufficient for anyone examining the contents of the contract.
Now I was, damn it.
It was really obvious in any of the documentation that's been made public so far.
It was completely UFO related. The reason you haven't seen the documentation is we used a statement of objectives format for the request for proposal. That is insufficient for anyone examining the contents of the contract. They must have the proposal. Now, within the proposal, and in this case, it was from Bigelow Aerospace Advanced Space Studies, it's clearly mentioned among the topics proposed, a worldwide database of advanced aerospace vehicles. There can be no ambiguity here. This was being proposed as a UFO project. Now, if you want to look at the tail end of the project, you'll find over 100 documents required to be reported to the Defense Intelligence Agency that were UFO related, in part, of course. I mean, they were large, very large documents. And you also have, technical studies, and you have that database.
Wait a minute. Is he saying that, because I thought he just said, Lukatsky just said it's always been UFO related, but George Knapp said it wasn't about UFOs in the beginning. Am I confused on that? I'm going to bring you guys in if you want to help talk to me about some of the things we talked about tonight. So I'm going to throw in the link right now and get your input on this. Let me see. To join the show, click this link. There it goes. I'll put it. I'll pin it. Oh, somebody's a member for 7 months here. Ozzy Tiger, a member for 7 months. It just popped up. I didn't see it. Thank you very much for that. Cool, man. And $14, $15 super chat. Thank you. And I can't find the link that I just put in there. That's weird. Where's my link? I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. And nobody's clicked in. So I guess it didn't work. Here, join the show. Here we go. If you want to join in. If you don't, that's cool too. It's okay. I can do this on my own. You got to wear a shirt. And you got to show your face. I have to see who it is. You can turn your face off after I see it. But I definitely want to make sure you're a human. Let's see. Here we go. Whoops. That's not it. That's not it. Where is that link that I had? That's strange. Is this it? Is that it? That's not it. Join the show with the pinned link. There we go. Boy, that's a showstopper right there. All right, let's continue.
Probably the largest UFO database that exists in the world and is currently being used by the U.S. military. So yes, it was completely a UFO project.
One of the other things that's been confusing for the public over the last almost 4 years, the New York Times and other major media outlets reported that $22 million went to AATIP, not to OSAP. Can you clarify the difference between OSAP and AATIP?
OSAP, right? They're the ones that, let me see if I got this right. They're the ones that worked on getting UFO reports, right? From the public and all around. Anything that came in unsecured airspace, OSAP was supposed to investigate it, right? AATIP was just a nickname for OSAP, but I guess they got the overflow work or something that Lou handled. Let's see what he says.
Yes. The name AATIP was a nickname for OSAP for certain security reasons that we've put into the book.
Oh, so they called it AATIP instead of saying OSAP. So it was kind of a nickname. Okay.
But the difference between OSAP with the nickname AATIP at DIA and AATIP at the Pentagon is quite distinct. OSAP had $22 million of funding.
Right. AATIP had nothing.
Military and civilian UFOs, yielding a massive database.
So
it also
OSAP
had a main contract and subcontract.
So OSAP worked with military and civilian UFOs. He just said that.
Now, AATIP
right?
in the Pentagon, named for OSAP for certain security reasons that we've put into the book. But the difference between OSAP with the nickname AATIP at DIA and AATIP at the Pentagon is quite distinct. OSAP had $22 million of funding. It covered military and civilian UFOs.
There we go.
Yielding a massive database. It also had a main contract and subcontracts. Now, AATIP in the Pentagon, as described in the articles, was basically zero funded, looked at specific military UFO
that were only a threat.
Encounters, and very important ones because they had film and it had no contract. So getting back to how did this mix up?
Because Lou mixed it up. Lou came in with his fancy talk, right? And he screwed us around a little. No, that's not what happened. Anyway, you can watch the rest of that on your own. I'll put the link to that in the description whenever I'm done. Whenever I'm done tonight, it'll be in there. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't mind hearing that. Nothing against Jim Lukatsky, that's for sure. He's never said anything out of the norm, right? Pretty decent guy. Yeah, and here's a tweet that came out today about Jim Semivan, just to ring this in. It says from Thomas Thompson, former CIA officer Jim Semivan had some alarming statements to make about the phenomenon. So let me read these over to close out tonight's show. A few months ago, former CIA officer Jim Semivan made a shocking statement saying there's a whole other reality that surrounds us that we just simply don't have the ability to see or interact with. He had worked with the CIA for 25 years before joining Tom DeShlong's To the Stars Academy with the other ex-government insiders. Basically, they were the all-star team of UFOs in the government. The To the Stars Academy is an organization that claims to have been responsible for the release of the now famous Pentagon UFO videos. Semivan described how he joined the CIA and acquired years of specialized training in spycraft. Since the CIA operates under the need-to-know premise, Semivan was not specifically informed of any UFO-related study, despite the fact that CIA analyst Kit Green was well known for exploring the paranormal. According to him, there is a force out there that can control our environment, that can put thoughts into our heads. In fact, Mr. Semivan has previously stated that UFOs sighted by the Navy are from another world. He made shocking assertions regarding unidentified flying objects in an interview with James Landeli, saying that the occurrence can be startling, especially to children. When we started TTSA, we had discussions about this all the time. Are we sure we want to disclose this information? I mean, are we going to scare 8-year-olds? Oh, it was 8-year-olds? I thought it was 12. I had some friends who were like, oh, my daughter wants to know all about UFOs. Can we talk to you about that? And I said, no. Jimmy Van, yeah. Jimmy Van said, I'm not going to talk to you about that. What am I going to tell her or him? These 10, 11-year-olds? Could such a reality kill them psychologically for the rest of their lives? Yes, that there is a force out there that can control our environment and put thoughts into our heads. Yes, that they can lie to you, deceive you. And yes, that you are not in control of your life. Tell this to a 12-year-old? While succinct, Semivan suggests that the rabbit hole goes much deeper when it comes to the UFO phenomenon. So there's that. If anybody wants to join the show, the pin linked is at the top of the chat. And that, to me, was pretty interesting, Thomas Thompson said. And just to clarify, he goes on, Thomas Thompson here, I merely shared the statements made by another individual. My thoughts are my own and his statements are his. I have my own beliefs of greater reality and by reading my tweets, it's pretty obvious. Perhaps I could have used better phrasing in my tweet. Somebody said, what is so alarming about this? Just about anyone who believes in anything spiritual holds this view at the macro level. Not alarming at all and very silly to suggest so. Can you explain, Thuro? I'm a spiritual and I don't believe unseen forces control my mind. None of my spiritual friends believe that either. So I don't understand your use of most. See how people are? Thuro, Josh, says, what's so alarming about this? Just about anyone who believes in anything spiritual holds this view at the macro level. No, that's not true. And Venny was right for saying what she did. None of my friends who are spiritual believe that they're being controlled. Why do they want to throw that out there? Why do they want to scare us? Because scared public wants government help. And we give up our freedoms anytime we ask government for help. We don't need your help. We will handle the aliens our own way. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, don't have disclosure. We don't need it. We already know that there's a phenomenon out there. We know we experience the weird shit too. We're not oblivious to the stuff that's going on unless it's our imagination and mass hallucination. That's the only thing it would have to be. And I don't believe in mass hallucinations. I never have. And I don't believe that when you're scared, seeing a bear in the woods turns into Bigfoot either. We've got Wayne from Michigan UFO Sightings joining the show. What's up there, sir? How are you, Wayne?
Hey, what's going on, man? How are you?
Oh, wow, man. They're doing well. How are you?
Just listening to the show, and I can't believe some of this stuff I'm hearing, man.
Isn't it amazing? Years ago, Greer was talking about this. Everybody laughed. Now it's a thing, and it's a serious thing. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm thinking that, isn't this the same guy that said he saw dino beavers on Skinwalker Ranch or one of those things in his book? Didn't they do Skinwalkers in DC or something like that?
This is the guy they brought out there to give him a look around, and he had that experience in the kitchen, like I think you're talking about.
Yeah,
it was a personal experience that could have only been for him, they said. Yeah, come on, man. Yeah, I think that's the guy.
Yeah. No, and when he's talking about doing those writings, I went on this, I think it was the CIA document site, and I downloaded all those DIRDs, the DIRDS, those documents, and they're all hypotheticals.
Yep.
They're they're extrapolated ideas from all of these encounters that people said they have. So they kind of wrote things about, well, what if? And so all of this stuff is, and I'm looking at all of them here because I figured they would probably take them down at some point. But yeah, I mean, I'm not buying it, man.
My thing is, why are they putting this out there again? Like, he talked about it several months ago, but it's now becoming a hot topic in ufology. The thought that, we could talk to aliens with our telepathic, not everybody can do it, but not everybody knows how kind of thing. That would be a pretty monumental discovery if that was true. And people would be dying to know that. Mm-hmm. Have you ever had any voices or any feelings, like suggestions that you need to do something? We have that in our own voice, but have you had anything like that paranormally?
Well, I guess when my wife and I had our triangle sighting experience, I told you about that, getting close to the triangle, and I started getting this impression in my head of get away, you don't belong here, you need to get away. And we were talking about that voice to skull technology kind of a thing where they can, radio stuff into your head. But one thing I wanted to point out, being somebody who's studied psychology and human development and things like that, and especially child mental development, being a teacher, if you can get somebody scared enough, you turn off the logic part of their brain. And it's very easy then to implant different suggestions in their head to make them more fearful, and then you're able to control them. And so to me, it just sounds like a big, massive control psyop to get people afraid. You'll pay the money, and, there you have it. You'll do whatever they tell you.
And there's that word again, psyop, that keeps popping up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, I cannot say what it was my wife and I saw. I have no idea. I know it had some effects on me and not on her. And that's a whole different story. Is it alien or whatever? I have no idea. I got some theories I'm throwing out there, but that's why I talk to people on my podcast to see what other people's experiences have been, so I can kind of put my own thing together about where we're at, because I'm not buying anything hook, line, and sinker just yet.
And I tell you, any theory you come up with is just as good as anybody else's, unless you're in the know. What do we know? Ice cream shots. How you doing, man?
What's up, Richie? How you guys doing?
Doing great. Yeah. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm kind of glad that I joined when I did, because and Wayne, by the way, I'm in Michigan too, so something about Michiganders here, with the UFO topic is pretty big, it seems like.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the whole hearing voices in your head thing, I don't know. I think the closest I ever had to anything like that at all was interesting, like you said, Wayne, like it was our first sighting that we ever had. Do you guys remember when Pokemon Go was really popular in 2018? Really, really popular. Yes. Okay, so my wife and I, just really quick, what happened was we were walking around this baseball diamond. We were playing out in the East Lansing areas where we're from in Michigan. And I was looking at my phone all day. Everybody was, and for some reason, broad daylight, something in my mind just went, look up, look up. Like I didn't hear a voice, but I had this feeling that said, just look up, out of nowhere, dude. And I just look up and boom, there it is in the sky. And we start walking over towards it, because my eyes are just glued on it. And I was going to yell at the people that were just up in front of us. My wife's like, don't say anything. They'll think you're crazy. It's going to go away, And so I didn't say anything, but we stood there and we watched it, and it was blink on super bright and then go down and then blink on and then go away. And then a second one came in. But yeah, it was, so that feeling, man, that's always stuck with me, to where I was like, if it was anything government or alien, I'd assume it was something else, because some said look up. It was weird.
At that time, were you an avid sky watcher, going out all the time? And
no, not at all. Not at all.
That's cool too.
Yeah, it was our first sighting. I haven't really seen anything that was definitive to me like that ever, but it was very, very, very weird. And like after we'd seen it, we were like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have seen this. We thought like the FBI was going to come get us, because it seemed so,
wow.
Yeah, it was really crazy. I mean, I have been into the topic, but I had never seen anything before. Never, nothing. And that was just the one time. And it would make sense to me, Pokemon Go, everybody was out and about. If they're flying around looking at us, they must have thought, what are these guys doing? Everybody's outside all of a sudden, and they're probably going like, what are they doing? What's going on? And so it just, makes sense. Maybe they were trying to tap and see what I was thinking or something. I don't know.
That's pretty cool, actually. I always wondered why, because I went out a lot during the lockdowns and I didn't see anything, man. It was bare. You thought a lot of UFOs would have come out when everybody was asleep or in their house or whatever. I didn't see anything. It was kind of depressing. I gave up after a few days. I'm like, that's not me, but I mean, I don't know. Do you guys do anything during the lockdowns? I guess, Wayne, I'd have to ask you.
Well, that's when I really started to focus on the podcast. I was teaching online, and that's when Michelle and I started the Michigan UFO sightings and paranormal encounters podcast. And 2018 was when we had the sighting. We started the podcast around end of February, beginning of March of 2020, because I wanted to start learning before we started talking to people about what it was that we saw. So I took a couple years doing that on top of my teaching and everything else. And I'm really generally a curious but logical person because I'm a science teacher, and my discipline is earth and space science. So it was just really weird to have this experience. And now I've been kind of catapulted in, and so has Michelle, into this realm. And it's just really, it's just something really bizarre as somebody who's never really thought much about this at all. I've always come from the scientific Newtonian physics kind of area, and man, you get the personalities in here, and this person doing that, and one person's just trying to sell their channel so they'll get picked up by somebody because they want to be a news reporter or whatever the case may be. I don't think using this topic would probably be a very good stepping stone, but hey, people can do what they want.
I just find it interesting now that, this telepathic conversation is happening more and more on Twitter, everywhere now. I'm not sure why anybody's giving Greer any credit since he's been doing it the whole time. They just dismiss him as if he was a joke, and he's the one who's been talking about this forever. And
okay, so you're going to rip on Greer, but at the same time, you're going to say you were at Skinwalker Ranch seeing dino beavers running around.
Right.
And portals opening and things like that. Yet we have still zero evidence of any of that stuff other than what you write in a book. Just like I have zero evidence of a 300-foot on each side triangle floating 100 feet above the ground, changing my hair white and making me have thyroid issues a few months later. I can't distinctly prove that, but I know what happened with us. So I want evidence from other people, and I'm not seeing it at all. And that's what bothers me. And then you get the government involved. What do they want? They want money, offices, and acronyms.
Yeah, it's money. It's money. That's what the whole OSAP AATIP thing, if you want to call it that. It's all been a ploy to get more money. Lukatsky tried to get that money for 4 years before they officially closed OSAP down. So I think they were hoping that Tom DeLonge and TTSA was really going to be a cash cow payout. It just didn't really pan out for them. And they're looking at kind of like the next step. They're still trying to do that. Lou comes in. He's trying to get the money again. This is just another push to get more cash. I mean, what they do with the money, who knows? If it's really going behind the scenes, who knows what they're doing with it? But I don't see any new information coming out besides stuff like this from what Semivan's saying, which is interesting stuff. But we need a little bit more evidence, I think, to really get on board, I think, fully with any kind of movement that they're bringing again, because the first one didn't go. So if you don't show me anything in the first one, the second one, I got to see a little bit more than what they've done so far.
Well, I'm still putting on my conspiratorial hat. There's a reason why they want us looking in other places, and yet they just nonchalantly sent a rocket to an asteroid to bump it off course. I mean,
Yeah.
really? I mean, and they're just kind of like, yeah, we did this. And by the way, as Richie would say, oh, goosh, look over here. Where's Lou at? And that's my question is, where has Lou gone? Where is he?
He's took a lot of heat though. And I think the big problem is that book, man, I think he was really betting on that book making money. And
yeah,
it's
and they basically canceled it on him.
Kinda.
Well,
I mean, you can't really release it at this point and think you're going to make a cash cow. So many people think you're lying. He's going to have to get away for a little while, let that drama go down, and then come back and try to push the book again at that point.
Yeah,
that's what happened, because people were, when he came out and said he has these different accounts, and everybody just took off like, I've infiltrated this and that, and I wanted to find out what people saying. I started fights and drama. I mean, that's horrible. That's just awful. All because of his ego. I want to know what people are saying about me behind my back.
Do you really think it was about his ego though? And it
I
wasn't
do, yeah.
a mission?
It was both. Yeah. I think he found it very interesting I put myself in his position. I would love to do that. It's just time consuming, and it's not for me, but if I could make 5, 6, 7, or 8 accounts and make believe I'm friends with people, and just to see what they think about me, go in there saying this Lou character's a nut, isn't he? And then I would say, yeah, he's a total dick. I hate him. Now he knows, check mark on Giordano. Yep. Hey, he could have done it to me. I would never know.
I mean, I'm sure he's a tough guy, just as a person. Obviously, we don't know the guy as a person. I'm sure
Right.
he is, but let's be honest, man. The internet, it's undefeated when it comes to people and breaking you at some point in time. It's kind of like Father Time, it's undefeated, as the fighting community says. But yeah, I mean, it would make you mad. I'm sure he dipped around and probably got a few shots back in, which it's not the best thing for the image. I kind of can't blame him too much. He's a human. He's going to make mistakes on that. I understand. But yeah, I mean, he definitely has to get away for a little while. And I think whoever's running this whole thing probably tapped his shoulder and said, you're bringing a little bit too much heat, man. It's probably time to go. And now you got Nolan in there. I think that's why he's subbing in so quick the way that he is. Because if you look at how he's talking big so he could instantly fill those shoes that Lou left behind. It makes sense. And so the push for the cash continues, and we see where we go with Nolan from here.
As long as we, the public, get to see something of it, but we're not seeing anything. This is anything has to do with Lou has to do with government, has nothing to do with what we want, the people. And that's true.
I don't think they care what we want at the end of the day. No, I mean, why would they? I mean, right. I think it breaks down to, whatever's going to push the budget for them for whatever black projects they're working on to get the money. They might feed us a little bit like a crappy video here or there just to get our support. Because, hey, our support's probably not hurting.
True.
But at the end of the day, everything looks like it's kind of been turning around on them, and it feels like they might try to steer the boat once again away from the community to try to maybe go more towards Congress and fool those guys, because they don't know anything over there. None of those guys are UFO guys, man. I mean, putting the Wilson documents in and all that's cool, but that guy probably even knows how to spell Wilson's name when it comes to any of that. So we'll have to see how that plays.
Well,
Dorothy. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Wayne. Go ahead and finish that.
Didn't they just say not too long ago that they're reclassifying all those videos and we'll never see them now?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, anything that the Navy or whatever wants to put out there, it's not going to happen.
Anything
how can that be disclosure? I mean, come on. We're not going to see anything.
But Lou said he's not here for disclosure. He actually said that. I'm not here for disclosure. I'm not even making that up or just guessing. He said that.
Yeah, I think he's here for it if it benefits him, if it benefits what they're doing. I think he's in for anything that benefits at that point.
I'm not so sure. Dorothy, what's your take on this?
Hi, Rich.
Hi.
I've been sitting here with my cousin Eric, and we weren't paying attention for the longest time, but I did hear you talking about Greer and people smashing on Greer. Also, just the whole scene of ufology where people are trying to squish one another. It's sort of like eating your own in order to get ahead or something weird, bizarre, competition-wise, instead of everybody going in the same direction after finding the truth of what's going on. I was wondering what everybody's take is on the idea that what we're actually seeing when we actually see physical craft and odd moving objects in the sky is our own stuff, reverse engineered from the original crash or landing or gift or whatever you want to call it. Reverse engineered and now being rolled out as alien for us and our consumption. And that's why we're seeing all these ex-DIA, CIA, blah, 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 this and that. I just curious, after watching for a while, it kind of occurred to me that maybe that's the way it is, instead of there's actually something otherworldly going on.
Either one of you guys want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think if anything, we probably figured a lot of this stuff out from crashes in the past by now. I mean, that's my guess. You hear a lot of people say, why now? That's my guess. I think this is a slow assimilation of getting some of that technology into the public little bit by little bit so they can start making money off of it. They probably feel it's about time, and we're, as a people, maybe just about to the point where we can handle a little bit of that. Yeah, I would say the majority of sightings at this point, my guess, my opinion, would be that it's probably our stuff that we're flying around, and probably not just ours in the sense of the U.S. It's probably other countries too that fly around, and they're seeing what they can do.
And Dorothy, I don't know how long you were listening, but we were initially talking about how Jim Semivan says that the aliens or this phenomenon can alter our environment and hear voices in our head and all that stuff. So that's why we were.
How we've discovered that some people have actual chip type things or whatever. Well, I mean, there's been some evidence that that's what's happened with some people. It makes more sense to me scientifically that we'd all be chipped from the start, because they found that technology pretty quickly. And so if they are talking to us in our heads, that we're on, radio receivers and transmitters, and maybe some of the stuff we get in terms of inspirational ideas or creative sparks aren't really our own. They're being fed to us. I'm a Matrix fan for sure.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Well,
and
Dorothy,
that's okay. Yep.
So I'm just going to say that right now, where I'm at with everything that I've looked at and Michelle's kind of looked at from my side over here, is that I'm of the opinion that we have been backwards engineering, and it is our stuff, and it's been our stuff for a very, very long time. And somewhere, somehow, whether it's Antarctica or somewhere, that we've found some kind of ancient stuff that is very, very advanced. And a lot of this stuff that we're seeing might still be functioning in kind of like a what do you want to call it? Like a safe mode, like you put a computer into a safe mode. And I mean, if you think about how long humans, from a science standpoint, if we go really conservative, humans with our brain size and capacity of being a Homo sapien, we've been around on this planet for, they're saying now, maybe 500,000 to 1 million years.
Wow.
Okay. So you look at what we completed in the last, let's say, 500 years with the scientific revolution, industrial revolution. What else have we done? Now, I know people will say, well, where's your evidence of that? Well, plate tectonics, massive floods. What are we left with? Giant megalithic structures that we still don't know how they were built. We've got mythologies that talk about fighting craft flying around in the sky, blowing things up, massive wars going on. I believe that's like the Vedic traditions and things like that. So, I'm thinking that it's not out of this world, or maybe it is, but my gut is telling me that this is stuff that we've done way in the past, and we've just forgotten about it, and we're just starting to relearn how to use it again. I mean, nobody really knows what the pyramids were for. They definitely were not crypts. There's nothing written inside of them.
And when you look at the megalithic architecture of the past with those giant hexagonal blocks, that pentagonal construction that nobody can figure out. They think it might even have been poured like into a mole or something in order to make them. How do you change rocks into, a molten condition without some sort of advanced technology to do such a thing, to create such structures like that? Because certainly what came afterwards was so much more crude and human-like, the same kind of shapes we've been building with for, thousands upon thousands of years now. So you're right, there's so many mysteries about our past and what was done in the past. And you're probably right, we're rediscovering a lot of things. I do think we got an assist from our sky brothers and sisters, and it could have been even a gift landed, say, here's this cool technology. You guys are really behind the times and you're polluting your planet. They knew it back in the 40s and 50s that we were messing up our environment. That whole environmental movement, Earth Day was 1970 something, maybe. Mm-hmm. So the idea that we knew how to do things better in the past and are heading back in that direction makes a lot of sense to me too.
And it seems like everything they used was all earthly, of course. Like they didn't break the rocks down and turn them into metal. You know what I mean? Everything is what it is. It's all natural, except for how they put it into place.
Yeah. How do you move, these huge megalithic blocks up one mountain, down another mountain, and back up it when, you look at like Pumapunku and, Sacsayhuaman down in, Chile and South America, Peru. And, people, I go to Lake Tahoe sometimes for vacation, and people have a hard time walking up a hill at 6,000 feet elevation, because, your body's got to be adapted to that. So how are they even doing this stuff? It's mind boggling. And I think honestly, what's left, what we're seeing is just like the foundations of what was probably really there.
Yeah, of course.
But that's me. I think all this stuff is connected way back to our ancient past that, you look at extinction events that happened 76,000 years ago with Mount Tobo exploding in Indonesia. That took us down to 10,000 mating pairs left of humans. We can trace our genes all the way back to 10,000 humans. We were almost gone. And then 12,000 years ago, with the end of the last ice age and massive floods, something happened cataclysmically that changed this planet. And it wasn't us killing the mammoths and 180 different species, not animals, species, with spears and things. That was not us. We probably killed them to survive after whatever happened. So, and Dorothy, perfect example of what you said. Look at how things, we can look and find all kinds of pottery and stuff that is granite that has been shaped so finely that it actually will let light go through it. Now, granite's an extremely hard rock, but then you look and see later, you would think that things would get better. No. Things get worse, as if the tools and everything disappeared, or they lost the ability to make these things. The saw cuts the circular drills into, very hard rock. I mean,
couldn't it be that?
Us, man.
Wait, what was that?
I said, I think it's us.
When you say us,
it's us.
When you say us, you mean you think it's us from the. Well, I think what happens is we find this technology and don't understand it, and we hide it, and nobody knows how to work it to this day. Even if it was like found 500 years ago, they're going to say this could actually destroy everything we know because we don't know it. We don't understand it. And I think we have a bunch of artifacts like that hidden all over the world that somehow can come together, maybe, I don't know, and give us eternal energy.
You're probably right about that one, Rich. The speculation on crystal skulls and how they found how they can store information on crystals and so forth and so on. Well, it would make perfect sense to leave behind some sort of a sculptural mechanism to help later generations understand what was lost eventually, once they get back to the point where they understand how these things work.
Well, I think a lot of it depends on how many different civilizations there are that can get to us, though, too. I mean, that's going to depend on the technology and how advanced it is. Whether or not we could back engineer it and figure it out. We probably have some crafts that we don't know what the hell's going on with it when we look into it. And there's probably some that they can look at and they can get in, turn the key, and fly it around. So it just depends. I mean, if the stuff they're digging up is just easier to get at, well, then we might be able to. But I don't know. I think they've probably seen a lot of this stuff before, humans in the past. I don't think we're the first civilization at all to be visited. I think a lot of these other civilizations that have come here, whether it's time-based or dimensional-based, we're not the first ones. They know how to talk to us. They know how we would react. They act accordingly. They don't. Some people say, why don't they land on the White House lawn? Because they probably did that on planet number 54 and it was terrible. They're not going to do it again. Okay. They've probably learned we're probably not that special. They probably got a lot of us sitting around the whole universe. And so they're probably just waiting for a time that makes sense and seeing what we do with some of their toys when they throw them at us,
Interesting speculations.
I like that. Yeah, it's just, I think when we get to a point of no return is when there will be another, what do they call those events? They destroy everything, and cataclysmic event. What are they called?
Extinction level event.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I think that's what happens when the civilizations get to a point where they're all going to starve and die of disease. Maybe they come in and wipe us all out, or set off a volcano, or throw down an asteroid at us. I don't know. But
well, ask NASA. Let's ask NASA.
Yeah, no doubt.
Why exactly at this point in time did you decide to test to see if you could send a rocket to hit an asteroid at 17,000 miles per hour?
40,000.
Or 40,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the asteroid itself was moving at like 17,000 miles per hour or something like that. So when they collided, it was a combined force.
Oh, gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah.
But man,
they've got the technology for that, but ask them for those videos. They don't have anything of that,
That's right. And when
they can't get the darn rocket off the launch pad.
They can't figure it out. The Artemis mission was the funniest thing to me, how long they've taken to go back. They said, well, we got to figure this out. Figure it out? You figured this out 50 years ago. What do you mean? What's left there to figure out? You got the better technology than you've ever seen. It's compared to a bicycle, what they got now. It seems like they should have been there last year, but I don't know. Maybe they're worried about what's there.
And how can they be as good as they say they are if they're having hydraulic leaks and stuff like that continuously? I don't understand. Isn't this basic construction of a rocket? I'm not sure why this is happening.
I'm sure they got the money for it. Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure they probably don't have a shortage of people beating on NASA's door to come work for them that are smart. So I'm sure it's not that either. Right. So you got to ask yourself, is it a money or an information shortage? I don't think it's either, man. I think that they've been trying to figure out how are they going to, get to the moon this time and show us really what's going on with it. To be honest, I don't want to see pictures. I don't want to see video. I want to see a live feed of them walking around. We got to have the tech to be able to do that now. They were making phone calls back then.
Right.
I wanted to walk all around the thing, live feed. None of this, hey, this just the rover's feet. Here it is. No, let's see it,
I don't think they'll do it right now. I don't know.
I don't think that they will either, unfortunately.
No, thank you.
If there's something there,
Right. There could be. I have a video that somebody sent me from their own camera. They shot it, and I can't believe what he showed me. It looks like there's a base on the moon. Like, you got to see it. When he gives me permission, I'll show it. It's pretty good. It's real. I know he didn't fake it. So anyway.
I just wonder if the Artemis is another part of the magician's trick of look over here.
Right.
Look at the problems we're having. Oh, look, Dart just hit that asteroid. Yay. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, exactly.
If it feels that way, it must be that way. That's how I feel. Thank you, Lisa, for the $3 super sticker, a continuing supporter of Goof On. Giddy up.
Well, we're an intuitive species after all, Rich. So
yeah,
if it gut feels that way, we're noticing probably very subtle things that other people may not be about the mainstream rhetoric around this topic.
Well said.
Yeah.
But I just noticed the time, so we're going to call an end to this portion of the show. The show actually is over. What's this? There's more computing power in the astronaut's pocket phone than that took them there in the first. I know. Way more power in our cell phones than what they had back then. That's crazy, isn't it? Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, but they need all these years to figure it out.
I know, right?
And they just don't know what it is.
Yeah, they don't know what's going on.
Ice cream shots. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. Do you have a YouTube channel or anything you want to promote?
No, nothing. I used to stream video games a long time ago, but other than that, no. It's cool to come on and talk to you guys for sure.
Dude, yeah, thanks a lot. Some good knowledge there. I mean, appreciate it. And Dorothy, thanks again. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Dorothy. Nice to meet you, Wayne.
Yeah, nice to see you all. Thanks, Rick.
Were you saying something else, Dorothy?
Oh, I was just going to say, have a great night, everybody. Sorry I wasn't in the chat room tonight.
Well,
my cousin Eric and I are having too much fun over here shooting the, BS. And so
well, that's all right.
Allow the StreamYard to come open. Thanks for letting us on.
Yeah, thank you for spending the time here, Dorothy and Eric. I hope you have a good night. And Wayne, as always, thank you very much. You want to tell everybody where your show is and where we can find it? Yeah.
You can find my show and Michelle's show, Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters Podcast. You can find it on YouTube. We don't do live streaming like this. We're just an audio podcast right now, but we're on all the major platforms, Spotify, you name it. You can find us. And Richie is supposed to be our episode 40. So we just got to coordinate and get everything all set up and keep our fingers crossed that we can get everybody, together and nothing crazy happens. So,
well, you can be sure all the Goofonians will hop over there if Richie's on your show.
Oh my God. Yeah, we'll be there for sure. I just have to remember, to let Wayne know earlier if I can't make it. I'm so sorry.
No, dude, that's okay. Because like Sundays are like the days Michelle and I do our school planning and things like that. So when you canceled, it was like, okay, back to work for the week, man. So not a big deal at all.
All right. Well, we'll be on 40. Thank you guys very much. Awesome. Wayne, Dorothy, Ice Cream Shots. What's your first name?
My name is Matthew.
All right, Matthew. Nice to meet you officially.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you, everybody. And you guys can take off if you want or hang out, but I'll remove you from the screen. Thanks, guys.
See you guys.
Bye, guys. Hey, I accidentally brought you back. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out tonight. I always love having you guys shoot the breeze with me here. We'll be doing it again probably tomorrow or anytime. Maybe we'll be doing it more regularly. I said Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I thought tonight would be interesting because it would be nice to know if we can talk to aliens with our brains. But thank you, moderators and super chatters. Mucho gusto generoso tonight with your time and support. I can't do it without you. And newcomers and veterans alike, thank you for your time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. That's all I'm going to say about that. All the links are in the show's description if you want to help support the show. Ba-ba-da-ba-da. And what are we? Oh, Truthology for ufology. That's it tonight. Enjoy the rest of your week. I'm going to go watch the rest of the Monday Night Football. Alien bless.
Control life. Warning.
Unidentified flying objects.